starts talking, what do you guys need to do? What?
Listen.
Listen. What did that song that the kids just said ask about? Go ahead, Tommy. Who did Eli tell Samuel to listen to? God. So he had to listen, right? So I read all 4 of these parables, because that's what Jesus calls them, parables. They're short stories to really mean something else. And there was 4 of them in this passage that JP gave me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to pick one of them out? So I decided not to pick any out. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of them, but the whole thing I want you to get out of this is that what Jesus is really asking us to do in any of the stories is to listen to him and what he has to say, and to put our faith in him and his word, what's coming out of the Bible. So one of the stories talks about you have a speck in your eye, and I want to get it out of your eye, but I have a speck in my eye too. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, that means maybe you're doing something wrong and I want to correct you, but maybe I'm doing something wrong too. So we have to make sure that we're behaving the way that God wants us to behave. What kind of fruit do you get off a tree? Go ahead.
An apple.
Apple. What else? A pear. Matt? Banana. Now, that fruit that you get off the tree, do you usually pick it when it's good to eat or when it's bad to eat?
Good to eat.
Good to eat. So we are all just like that fruit on the tree. We all have that good inside of us, and that's where God wants to come out of us. That good inside of us, right? So we're like that good fruit on the tree. Every single one of us is good. So let's bring that out before the fruit, gets too ripe and then it's not so good to eat anymore. So we want to make sure we're bringing that good fruit out all the time. I forget the 3rd story, so we're going to go to the 4th story. The 4th story, I just drew it right. The 4th story, has anybody heard the song of the wise man and the foolish man? Yes. What did the wise man build his house upon? The rock. What do you guys know about rock? Is rock soft or is it hard?
Hard.
Hard.
And that's it. The tinier it is the harder it is because the tiny ones, you really need to throw them against the ground to get them.
Okay,
The big
so
ones, they're not so, they're lots of breakable, so as long as you throw it down hard, it will break.
it'll break. Well, this rock we don't want to break. What did the foolish man build his rock upon, or his house upon? What did the foolish man? Kara? Sand. What do you guys know about sand? Have you ever built a sand castle at the beach?
Yeah.
What happens to it when the water rushes up?
It's destroyed.
It gets destroyed.
I can tell you what really happens.
What is it?
The sand is, the water is not what's making it go away. It's the sand. When the water hits the sand, the sand gets less stronger, and then it sort of melts in the salt, and it goes away.
And it goes away. All right, now let me ask you guys another question. Who is the rock of our church? Oh, that's a tough question. Who do we believe in?
God.
God. And who else?
Jesus.
Jesus. So that is our rock. And everything we're supposed to listen to from God comes from this book right here.
Yeah, that's a ball.
So what this is all about is that we need to listen to this book. This book needs to be our foundation, but we also need to listen to hear God talking to us. And God can talk to us in many different ways. And in simple, teeny, tiny ways. And I'm going to have these 2 kids sing a song which has nothing to do with church whatsoever. It's the warm-up song that we do every Thursday in choir, and we laugh and we giggle and we just have a ball doing it because it's really silly. Some of the choir members have heard it. But what we're going to do after you guys listen to this song is the reason for this song is that it shows us that little things can help us remember Jesus. Little things such as a little tiny bag of M&Ms.
Yeah.
Everybody eats M&Ms or eats candy or eats something or sees something somewhere. So there's a poem that goes with this which ties into JP's sermon because it's about resurrection. I'm not going to read the poem right now, but everybody's going to get an M&Ms with a poem. And what I want everybody to do, including the kids, is help to remember that God is calling us to listen, even in all of the little things that we have surrounding us every day. So if you guys will listen to these two sing Mushy M&Ms. You guys ready? Come on. All right, you guys come down the steps so they don't. And this is funny. This is a funny song. This is not anything that's like, has nothing to do with church. It's for us to remember God with the M&Ms.